On today's episode, the more you watch, the less they produce. Today's episode of End of the Line is brought to you by engineering.com, a globally trusted source for engineering content. Check out this and many other exclusive videos for the engineering professional found only on engineering.tv today. A lot of people like me, we just like manufacturing. I like everything about manufacturing, from the way a design engineer renders an idea to the way the forklift drivers load a railway boxcar. Now, management of a manufacturing enterprise, well, it's not my favorite aspect of the art of mass production, but it's important. Now, it's been important for a long time, since the 1880s, in fact, when Frederick Taylor began the scientific management movement in industry. Now, Taylorism, it kind of petered out in the 1930s, like so many management fads do, but today's iterations with names like Scrum, Six Sigma, Agile, Kanban, and the others are, like Taylorism, kernels of truth embedded in thousands of words are what is often, in my opinion, crap. Now, there are exceptions, of course. A recent article on Medium.com, authored by Todd Langford, however, caught my attention. Now, it's called How Transparency Can Kill Productivity in Agile Teams. Now, embedded in that article is reference to a paper by Ethan S. Berstein from 2012 called The Transparency Paradox, a role for privacy in organizational learning and operational control. Now, this isn't my usual bedtime reading, but in that paper, Berstein looked at factory operations in a Chinese cell phone plant and discovered something very interesting, something he calls a transparency paradox. Now, in that plant, most line workers were observed by lead hands and supervisors in the conventional way. Now, some lines, however, were isolated and separated from routine observation by plant management. Now, his empirical research showed that the workers who are not routinely observed perform better than those that were, the opposite of what we expect in conventional operations. More supervision, less productivity. Why? Well, Berstein suggests that worker-initiated deviance from standard procedures combined with local experimentation and distraction avoidance simply makes it easier for line workers to find more efficient processes. Now, while every lead hand or production manager will tell you that they're open to ideas from workers on the line, the research shows that monitoring worker performance directly results in workers that are reluctant to deviate from standard procedures. And no matter how much you pay that productivity consultant, no one knows better how to improve throughput from each station than the people that spend 8 hours a day in that station. Of course, this also runs contrary to the current fad, transparency. Now, this variation has everyone observing everything with the hope that some kind of collaborative system will evolve that will optimize productivity. Now, the research suggests that this works about as well as having the production manager stand over a line worker's shoulder, as transparency represents another form of external monitoring, resulting in employees who conform rather than experiment. So what do we do? Well, the answer appears to be a specific type of manufacturing management, one that sets mid-level parameters and measures productivity as team output, without strict process optimization as something imposed on every step in a multi-step process. So does this mean that we physically hang curtains around lines like the cell phone manufacturer did to sequester different competitors' products? Well, not necessarily, but if you ask a production manager about what's going on behind a curtain, he or she will usually assume that it's nothing good. In fact, it might be the exact opposite. Well, that's it for today's episode of End of the Line, brought to you by engineering.com. If you like this show, be sure to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell for our next episode. For deeper engineering content, visit engineering.tv for exclusive shows like Manufacturing the Future, not found here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.